We explain the importance of using mode of action in insect resistance management.
Bruno grows a range of vegetables on his farm, using insecticides to control pests. However, this isn't a simple task. Recently, one of the products he'd successfully used for a long time stopped being effective. The insects are now flourishing and destroying his crops. So Bruno speaks to his local agriculture advisor, Anna. She explains that insecticides can work in different ways. They can have a different mode of action. Repeated use of the same insecticide leads to insects developing resistance against that mode of action, making them hard to control. As a solution, Anna recommends an alternative product with a different mode of action to control the pests. She strongly advises Bruno to vary the insecticides he uses in order to combat resistance. This sounds sensible to Bruno, but how does it work? Insecticides can be grouped by mode of action based on their site of action within an insect. Prevention or management of resistance is normally achieved by varying insecticide modes of action during the growing season. This is known as rotation or alternation. Bruno could also use multiple applications of the same mode of action over a defined period of time before switching to another. This is typically around a month and is called a window or block strategy. Application windows are normally calculated based on the time it takes for the pest insects to develop and reproduce. This is known as generation time. With this information, Bruno visits his local retailer to buy the new insecticides. But he's immediately faced with a challenge. How does he find out what mode of action a product has? Retailer Zach explains that in many cases, insecticide products clearly display the mode of action employed, represented by a code. He shows Bruno 4 different insecticides for controlling aphid pests, each with a different mode of action. To prevent resistance, products with different numbers should be used. For instance, Bruno could begin with number 23, then switch to 9B or 1A for the next application. Letters after a specific mode of action indicate chemical and structural differences between insecticides that have the same mode of action. These should only be used for resistance management if no other insecticides with different modes of action are available. Zach reminds Bruno to always follow the manufacturer's label recommendations. Importantly, Bruno also keeps in mind that insects are mobile, so it's crucial to avoid products for which resistance has been reported in nearby areas. Zach encourages Bruno to work with other local farmers so they can share knowledge to help combat the threat of insect resistance together. In addition, Bruno discovers he can take other actions to control insects and reduce the cost of crop production. This is often referred to as Integrated Pest Management, or IPM. Using natural insect predators, removing old plants, and rotating other crops that do not host the same insects are all ways to aid management.